Welcome back to another episode of Fantasy Football RPG. Today we are talking about sleeper running backs in the 2025 NFL Draft. First, I want to thank the listeners. We just hit 600 subscribers on YouTube, which is pretty cool. Like, we started this channel from scratch and we're just doing the best that we can. And we're just really grateful for each and every one of you. Listen, you're already here. Hit subscribe, hit like. If you're on audio only, go to YouTube, hit subscribe. Why not? It's free and it gives me joy. And if you can spread joy in this world, you should do it. You know who brings me joy? Bhayshul Tuten. But we'll talk about him later. Let's go through a couple of the guys. So we did our top 10 rankings. There were some guys that you and I were higher on, and we liked them, but maybe they just didn't make the cut. It just goes to show how deep this running back class is. Dude, Dylan Samson outside the top 10 feels gross. He's good.
Yeah, it really does feel gross. Cooper Mays. In Cooper Mays, I trust. I've been saying it since this previous offseason. He has identified this as Dylan Samson as the better back between Wright and Samson. He says Samson was better. That tells me all I need to know. Wright was what, Mike, a third-round pick?
He was the fourth-round pick that would have been a third-round pick if there were no weird rules.
Okay, well, there you go. So very much so, if you're telling me that the guy has the talent of better than a fourth, could have been a third rounder, and he's probably going to go a little bit later, all in.
Yep. I will say he played in the same backfield as Wright. Just from that year, his yards per attempt were lower. It's because he didn't get the same wide open holes, and he kept running into this big obstacle at the end of the field. He kept hitting the end zone. He had 7 touchdowns as opposed to Wright's 4. He was used more as their goal line back. He was used more effectively in the passing game, maybe not actually, getting more receptions, but every time that he touched the ball, it was just a little more fun. So we like Dylan Samson around here. Just flat rule for Dynasty drafts. Take the running back. Take the running back. Take the running back. Ollie Gordon, after an amazing 2023, just forgot how to follow his blockers in 2024. What did he weigh in at the Senior Bowl? 233? Is that
233? Came in as a thick boy.
He is a thick with 3 C's, and I like that out of the backup running back. That means that he's going to fall into the end zone every once in a while. Maybe he'll get a little value bump. It also, he has the size to be a workhorse. So even if he is not drafted to be the workhorse in a backfield, he has shown the breakaway speed at Oklahoma State. He has the contact balance. He has all of the little things that almost feel unteachable. Maybe just get him some LASIK and we'll be good. You want to talk about the other thumper in this class that we haven't talked about already?
You mean Damien Martinez?
Thick boy. I mean, he weighed in at 226. I think he slimmed down a little bit. Senior Bowl.
I very much think that he slimmed down a little bit to be able to look a little more fluid out on the field. We're talking about somebody that changed offenses and still had back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. We're talking about somebody who averaged over 6 yards a carry every season that he played in college. We're talking about a guy that still breaks long runs. 2024, long run of 75 yards. 2023, long run of 64 yards. And he has hands.
They're there.
They kind of work.
Most of the time.
Yeah. So not just a straight downhill, but very much that first and second down back that is going to be able to carry a workload if needed.
Yep. Question for you about all of these guys, because I think we like them a lot. It's just, again, it's a deep class. It's hard to get everyone in the top 10. Where would they be in 2024? Like RB3? RB2?
Yeah, I mean, when we were looking at 24, some of these guys, we were already talking about potentials for that 24 class. We were talking about Woody Marks as one of them that we're going to talk about in a minute here. A couple other guys from the class that we already listed in our top 10. I would say that the guys that we just listed between Gordon's a different story because he was drastically different between 23 and 24. So we need to take that with a grain of salt. Gordon, had he come out We're probably looking at somebody that's talked about in that same vein as Benson, as Corum, looking at that guy kind of fighting for, is he 2? Is he 4? But he sure as heck wouldn't be later than 4.
Yep. All right. You already brought up his name. Let's talk about Woody Marks. Sell me on Woody Marks. Why should he be on my Dynasty team?
Because he is a great receiving back. That is what he's going to win at in the NFL level. We're talking about somebody that was at Mississippi State. That Mississippi State program was in all kinds of shambles. It was bad, but he was that safety valve. If you want to just do some number scouting here, if I told you as a true freshman he had 60 receptions, that piques some interest. If I told you as a true sophomore, he had 83 receptions.
Whatever.
Okay, interesting. Then it dips a little bit down to 48 and 23 before transferring to USC and having 47. We're talking about a running back in his college career that had 261 receptions, Mike.
We'll take that.
He's fluid in the receiving game. He's got soft hands. He is a safety valve for any kind of quarterback. Sure, he doesn't get a ton after the reception, but you're still talking about somebody who averaged almost 6 yards a reception as a running back in college. Absolutely love to see that.
Yeah. Let's go the complete opposite direction with our last sleeper running back of the day, Bhayshul Tuten. Listen, if you're looking for a good receiving back, if you're looking for a check down king, if you're looking for 50-plus receptions at the NFL level, look away. But if you are looking for an effective between the tackles rusher, if you're looking for a fun player that people are going to see Tuten get carries in the preseason and they're going to be like, man, I want him because he's able to set up his blockers really well in space. The Virginia Tech offense was severely underwhelming this year, and he was the only reason that it was fun. One, because his name is amazing and I want to say it more. So Bhayshul Tuten, Bhayshul Tuten, Bhayshul Tuten. But also, he's able to effectively run anywhere that you need him to, zone, gap, whatever. He does do better work in a zone scheme because that gives him a little more free reign. He's an artist with a tapestry in front of him, and he's able to turn that, could be a 3-yard gain into a 15-yard gain. You're seeing the explosive runs frequently. I think the long speed is probably in question. I think the hands are fine. Better than Martinez, worse than Marks, somewhere in that middle range there. But he's going to be somebody that turns some heads in the preseason, in the combine. And he weighed in at 211 at 5'8". Talk about thick. That'll work.
That'll get the job done, right, Mike?
Yep. Anyone else you want to shout out?
No, not really at this point. There's some names to know that are going through Senior Bowl right now that popped during the college season that you kind of questioned whether they would actually translate to the NFL. Obviously, Trevor Etienne's one of them. LaQuinn Allen's one of them. Donovan Edwards is one of them. Jaquiz Hunter is one of them. Devin Neal is one of them. Oh man, there's just too many names. RJ Harvey, that's one of them.
Yeah, I'm shaking my head at all of those. Devin Neal has my attention. The rest of them, fun college players. I don't think it's going to translate.
Yep, but I'm with you, Mike.
Go watch some DJ Giddens. Go watch some more Bhayshul Tuten. Be sure to hit like and subscribe. Thanks for listening. Draft more Damien Martinez. Thanks for listening to another episode of the Fantasy Football RPG Podcast. If you made it this far, be sure to like and subscribe. If you want to check out written content, head over to lastwordonsports.com.
Don't let the Goblins get you.